Okay, the next team up, the fourth team, is from Loyola University of New Orleans, presenting Green Roofs Are Cool. Green Roofs Are Cool proposes a variety of options for growing plants on rooftops of assorted shapes and sizes based on the design and construction of buildings and the interest of their owners and residents in New Orleans, Louisiana, and beyond. I'll now turn it over to the Loyola University team. Okay, you need to, there we go.
Hi,
Now,
thank you, Duke. Next slide. Thank you for choosing us as a finalist. We are the Green Roofs Are Cool team from Loyola University, New Orleans. My name is Abby, and I'm a part of this diverse team that has unique disciplines that allowed us to make our solution great. We have Marianne, who is the director of our environmental law program here, and she's also the founder of our community partner, Recirculating Farms, which is an experienced environmental and food justice organization here in New Orleans. Next slide. So what is our clean cooling solution all about? Well, you know and love how New Orleans is a hotspot for food, music, and art, but we're also a literal hotspot. There's a lack of green space in our city, and that has devastating effects on the well-being of our environment, as well as the people who make this city so great. This heat map here shows that it's the neighborhoods with the least amount of income who suffer from the most of our heat. And so to tackle this intense problem, our Clean Cooling Project proposes 3 accessible green roof solutions that include agriculture, hydroponics, and air plants. Our green roof solutions will cool down the people, the city, as well as offer numerous community benefits. The most important thing about our green roof solutions is that it's flexible based on your building type, your budget, and your goals. Thank you. Next slide.
Hi, I'm Anna, and I'm here to tell you what makes our solution special. Green roofs work, and they've been proven around the world for years, particularly in Paris, France, where green roofs were just made mandatory for commercial buildings. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency recently found that roofs with plants are on average 30 to 40 degrees cooler than roofs without. What makes our solution unique is that we're not just providing one solution, but 3 that can be modified to your unique building. Green roofs are also affordable, which makes them more accessible. And traditionally high costs keep cities like New Orleans continuously left behind. Next slide, please.
Hi, my name is Eric. Our strengths include flexibility, cost effectiveness, and proven success and scalability as seen around the world. Our perceived weaknesses are the need for new laws and the need for training for green roof installations. Our biggest opportunities are the momentum towards green infrastructure in neighborhoods in our city and elsewhere, as well as an increase in climate awareness. Our biggest threat is hurricanes, but with a proper solution, these roofs can withstand high winds. Another concern is insurance, but again, with good information and awareness, this can be resolved. This will be key for a cooler and more sustainable New Orleans. Nikki's slide.
Hi, next slide. Okay, thank you. Hi, my name is Nikandra, and this is how our team will measure success. By adding green roofs throughout the city, the EPA estimates that the overall ambient temperature can be reduced by 5 degrees, which is our goal. We also expect to reduce the city's energy use and cost. In addition to cooling, green roofs provide many other community benefits, such as absorption of stormwater to reduce flooding and filtering air and water for a cleaner environment, which can lead to a better overall health. Our roofs can also grow food and create habitat for pollinators. Overall, people will be a lot happier looking at all the added pretty spaces. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Nikki. Hi, I'm Layla, and we have proposed 3 types of flexible green roofs: air plants, hydroponics, and agricultural types to fit the dynamic character New Orleans and other cities have. The addition of air plants, like Spanish moss, which is found in abundance here, can be easily installed. For our second option, we have hydroponics, which can support a large variety of plants, using water as an alternative growing medium. For agricultural roof types, they can be as simple or complex as a property owner's building, budget, and goals. Next slide.
Hey y'all, I'm Michael. I'm a master's student at Loyola, and I also work as the farm director for our community partner, Recirculating Farms. Recirculating Farms runs an urban farm, teaches a wide variety of classes, and works toward increasing local food security, managing large budgets and projects every day. Next slide, please. Recirculating Farms also has the perfect spaces, which will allow us to test every proposed roof type. We'll be able to provide training to the community as well as growing and sourcing plants, which will help aid in the mass adoption of the green roof cooling solution. So why should a Clean Cooling Collaborative invest in our project? Well, as a native New Orleanian, trust me, y'all, I know hot. And it's hotter than a bottle of hot sauce down here, y'all. It's time for us to get cool down here in New Orleans. So we propose our Cool Green Roofs. Cool Green Roofs are carbon capturing, energy saving, beautifying solutions, which can provide a wide variety of ecosystem services, as well as provide food, and also has the potential to create jobs. Next slide, please. We would like to thank everyone involved and give a special shout out to Kathy, Kelly, and the Clean Cooling Collaborative. Thank you very much, and we're excited to bring this cooling, beautifying solution to New Orleans. Let the cool times roll.
Fantastic presentation. And in the interest of full disclosure, I went to a little school right next door to yours. So when you tell me it's hot and humid there, I recognize that. So anyway, let's get on with questions and observations from our panelists. And I'm looking at Stephen, who's eager to get this started. Go ahead, Stephen.
I am certainly eager. Great presentation. I think I have the same question today as I did when reviewing the proposal during our adjudication period. And the portrayal of the green roofs, and I was thinking about Chicago and Mayor Daley and making that a requirement in that city, and they were able to actually implement quite a bit. But there is certainly a logistics and cost implication when you're going to add load and drainage issues to an existing roof. And if you're talking about civic buildings, that's one thing. But if you're talking about apartment buildings or privately owned real estate, you know, there's got to be a cost benefit established somewhere in there. So I just wondered how rigorously you looked at the actual implementation and not to just rely on the Spanish moss alternative, which looks light enough to be able to install anywhere. So just wanted to put that out there as a challenge.
So our solution is very flexible. You're able to install whatever type of roof is able to go into your house. So if you have somewhere that can't handle a large load, you can install the air plant model. But if you have somewhere that can handle a slightly larger load, you can use the hydroponic or intensive agriculture method. As far as handling the weight of water, we will have rain barrels that are on the side of the house that will pump the water up to the plant and then trickle back down. So there will never be constant weight of water on top of the house. We'll also work very closely with one of our partners who is an engineering firm that we've worked with at Recirculating Farms in the past.
Anne.
Great job, everyone. I will also, in the effort of full disclosure, say I have some ties and used to work with the city of New Orleans. So I think one thing when reviewing your application that really leaped off the page to me was the connection to the community, and also now being with the city of Jacksonville and wanting to think about how these types of solutions are scaled. I wondered if you could share a bit about how you feel you have a unique approach to community engagement around green roofs, and how that might, the findings from this project might make it easier for other communities across the I-10 corridor to establish connections with community organizations and replicate these types of projects.
Yeah, so what's awesome about our solution is that we're already doing it. Green roofs, I know Recirculating Farms already has implemented some of them in the city, and they already have a long-standing connection with the community here. And so alongside that, I think our solution is really unique in the fact that you don't have to necessarily have a green roof on your roof to reap the benefits of it, because you're still going to get cleaner air, cleaner water. Flooding is, if you guys are, some of you have been in New Orleans, you know that flooding and standing water are really big problems here, and there's reduction of those alongside. It's just pretty, and that has a lot of psychological benefits in its own. So there's lots of benefits that come even if you aren't the one directly getting the roof.
And I'd like to also just point out that Recirculating Farms has a lot of experience doing this already. As Anna mentioned, we've installed green roofs around New Orleans, and we also have experience bringing innovative growing practices to the nation and abroad. So this isn't anything new for us, and collaboration with community partners is something that we really pride ourselves on, and we have gotten a lot of work done in New Orleans. which is a city that is traditionally not thought of as somewhere that's an agricultural hub. But trust me, we've made great strides into making that more of a reality.
Okay, Dave, and then Christopher.
Yeah, I just wanted to build on Ann's question with our east-west exchange here across the I-10. Let's for a moment just take an extreme position that cool roofs aren't a good solution in a dry climate. And we can debate that, but that's not really the point of the question. Let's just say cool roofs are off the table in a place like Phoenix. You all clearly have a process there that's working, the relationships, the experience that you talked about. Can you articulate for this national audience, what are those important lessons learned that are scalable aside from the technology, aside from the plants, aside from the soil? What are the really important lessons learned about the process that you think you can scale up elsewhere?
I believe that scaling up elsewhere will require us to go into these communities and not think that we have the solution right off the bat. So we're coming to people with prototypes, but we're going to value local knowledge very heavily, so we can create solutions that work directly to these people's needs and in their environment, instead of trying a one-size-fits-all approach, which is really one of the biggest strengths of our solutions. That is very flexible and customizable to any person's budget, need, priorities, including environment.
Christopher.
Great. Thank you for your time. It was a pleasure reviewing your application. And my question is if you anticipate any challenges in the long-term use of the project.
Yeah, so a couple of our challenges that we have kind of anticipated have to do with laws and regulations around green roofs. We do plan to advocate for green roofs similar to the path that solar roof installation followed. For example, we definitely need new and updated zoning and permitting laws, so that way property owners can have a streamlined approach to getting these roofs of any type installed wherever they'd like, as well as increased laws for incentivizing property owners to put this solution on their roofs. And those are like the major two that in terms of just long-term problems that we might run into. But also, as another judge previously mentioned, this is also happening in cities like Chicago. New York is another one, as well as San Francisco, that as we spread more awareness about green roofs, we can also use what those cities have done to kind of trickle out our ideas.
One of the other issues that we talked about was insurance. We all know that when new technology comes, the insurance companies kind of complain about it and they worry whether they should insure these new building techniques. But in our research, we recognize that solar panels and tin roofs and tile roofs have all gone through that process. And it's really just about more information and awareness in encouraging insurance companies to accept this new style of building.
I think those are all answers in response to Dave Handula's question and the process that you need to go through, no matter where you are, whether it's the actual physical environment or the temperatures, the water, the heat, etc., as well as the regulatory environment in each place. And I think you're to be commended for examining all of those issues as they relate to whatever solution you might come up with. So I want to thank the Loyola University team for your presentation. Very clear, beautifully done. Thank you so much.
Thank you.